Hey everybody, Anthony here. It is Saturday, March 25th, 2023. Today's video comes to us, a part 2 from continuation from last week's video entitled Nemine Contradicenti. That Latin term meaning of one mind depicts this one world system or new world order that's coming to power right before our eyes. And if you remember in last week's video, we talked about their goal and their mission and what they control, like academia, law enforcement, corporations, industry, government, and how this system afflicts, oppresses, destroys, attacks, does battle against, works destruction, causes trouble, and causes offenses toward. We talked about Psalm 83:5, with one mind, they plot together, they form an alliance against you. That is yet future, where the Antichrist system is brought in and comes to play in the Battle of Armageddon. But this one mind is being put together now for a reason, and that is to usher in this new system, or they call the New World Order, or whatever you want to name it. They have some fancy names for it, but in the end, what their goal is, it is to recruit their own armies, their own groups, alliances, if you will, and to weaponize them against the current systems in the world that come against it or don't align with that new world system that's coming. And so these armies are made up of people. Examples that come to my mind in the last 3 years are Antifa, Black Lives Matter. Again, those are, if you've seen, are global in scale, if you will. They're not just localized anymore in the United States. So something very powerful had to put those together and prop them up and finance them in order to operate, because if the world powers, didn't want those groups to operate, they wouldn't be operating. Cartels are left to run ripshod over everything for a reason. The CIA, the FBI has been weaponized. The DOJ has been weaponized against the people. I'm not saying everybody in these organizations is bad. That's like, painting a broad brush that everybody of a certain, in a certain industry is bad. Of course not, but the mechanisms of that organization have been hijacked and at the highest levels report to this new world system. Organized crime or crime syndicates, structures like the Illuminati, the Bilderbergs, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Jesuits, the Freemasons, of which most of our political leaders are a part of Freemasonry at one level or another, some at very high levels, like the former President Donald Trump was a 33-degree Scottish Rites Freemason. The DeSantis family, I know, is involved in Freemasonry, and I believe Ron DeSantis, although I don't know his ranking in Freemasonry, I believe he was brought up through the British end of the Freemasons. And so these groups, especially like the Freemasons, they, at the upper levels, the 28th degree and higher, if you looked into their system, they turn good and bad, they flip-flop it, and they end up resorting to worshiping Lucifer or the light bearer. They'll call him God, of course. Paul calls him the God of this world in 2 Corinthians 4:4, because he does have reign over this world temporarily. He is the God, small g, of this world. And so that's who they worship or believe that's going to win. So these people that say in God we trust or God bless America, for the most part, when a political figure says that, a little bell should go off in your head. What God are they talking about? Little g, or are they talking about Yahuwah Elohim, the one seated on the throne? Most of the time it's God, little g, which his name is Satan or Hashatan or Gadriel, if you study it, who from the garden fell, at one time was good, but fell and became who he is today, a fallen angel. Our medical systems and health systems under the CDC, the World Health Organization, have become part and parcel to this system, so they can push on the medical side this tyranny, if you will, that we've saw and witnessed over the last 3 years, and probably will continue to witness even more, where they use money as a dangling carrot to different hospitals and hospital organizations to push a certain agenda and a certain medical practice on people, many of whom did not want to receive it, but had to receive it anyway to keep their livelihoods or to stay in power or whatever. Okay? When that happens, you know something is going on. Something is running amok. Our country, I believe, has been infiltrated. You could call them foreign agents. Many of our leaders are in power to bring about a certain end, I believe. And that end is not America, apple pie, and baseball, and singing the national anthem. Those days are gone. And what's coming is a day where our sovereignty is diminished, our Constitution is done away with, we're brought into this system, or brought down first several notches, and then encapsulated into this one world system where everyone will be living in beautiful 15-minute cities. You'll be happy, you'll have nothing to worry about because you'll own nothing. They'll give you everything, but it'll come at a price. It'll come with the forfeiting of your belief system, and it'll demand your allegiance to its system. Okay, and that's exactly what the Antichrist does when he comes on the scene. Is he will in the end want you to worship him. So taking a mark or following a digital currency is not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast has to do with your worshiping the beast and his system. So that'll be in the end, when that comes about, yeah, a mark is involved, but your worship is what he wants and what he'll want from you. If not, you will be marginalized, captured, killed, imprisoned. Take your pick. That'll be what happens to you. The family unit in our country is being destroyed for a reason. You're not seeing the media parading around little boys and girls pole dancing or strip teasing in front of men and women and getting tips and everyone cheering for them. That's done for a reason, to show you that they are in control and this is the system they're shoving down your throat. Because the system in the end may involve transhumanism. It may involve an erasing of the male-female gender, the thinking about how things really work, because they want to tear down everything that Yahuwah put into place and put into place what the Antichrist wants to put into place, who's empowered by the dragon. Okay? It's everything in antithesis, the opposite of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay? It's the exact opposite, the evil opposite of that. So the system will be turned on its head. And that system will give the Antichrist ability to operate. Putting together this one world religion is something that's coming down the pike. You'll see it in the United Arab Emirates under Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. The Pope is spearheading that. That's a system that's coming together. We can see that. It's tangible. It's already built there and it's already in operation. So that'll just get pushed more, working forward, pushed more in front of us. I heard a quote recently before I close. It says, "Living in truth makes you stronger than those who continue to live in the lies sold to them." The lies being sold to us are what they are. They're lies. Satan was a liar and the father of lies, Yahushua said. And therefore he speaks his native tongue. And so many people are being fooled by these lies and will continue to be fooled unless they get back to revival, which is following Yahusha in spirit and truth, loving him by how? By following his commands and doing what the word says instead of running on doctrines of men. I'll close Matthew 16:24 through 26. Then Yahusha said to his Talmudim, his disciples, if anyone wants to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his stake, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life shall lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he gains all the world and loses his own life or soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his life or his soul? Okay, I'll close with that. Stay ready, stay in the Word, stay in truth, follow Yahusha, our Messiah, in truth and in love, and you show that love by following his commands. He even said it himself. If you love me, follow my commands. Shalom, everyone. Have a blessed Sabbath. Anthony signing off. Yah bless.